Attorney General Eric Holder has been doing a surprisingly good job recently. I thought that he was very slow in actually jumping into action, whether it was against the banks or in fighting for justice as the head of the Justice Department throughout the 2 terms of President Obama. But finally, we have the Eric Holder that we thought we might have had 6 years ago. So he decides that he's going to go to Ferguson, Missouri. Of course, conservatives start to criticize him immediately. Well, here's your head of your Justice Department. There are people in the streets chanting about justice, and it might make sense for him to go out there and just get a lay of the land, figure out the facts, talk to everybody involved, like talk to the cops, talk to the protesters, talk to the community. You know, that's not a foreign community, that's our community, right? That's a town in America, right? A lot of times I feel like conservatives forget that. People in Ferguson are not the enemy, they're us. I know a lot of you don't feel that way because they don't look like you, right? But they are. They're U.S. citizens, and our Justice Department is supposed to protect them. In fact, our cops are supposed to protect them. That's supposed to be the whole point of the cops. So here's what Eric Holder said about Ferguson when he went.
On a personal note, I've seen a lot in my time as Attorney General, but few things have affected me as greatly as my visit to Ferguson. I had the chance to meet with the family of Michael Brown. I spoke to them not just as Attorney General, but as a father. I wanted the people of Ferguson to know that I personally stood that mistrust. I wanted them to know that while so much else may be uncertain, this Attorney General and this Department of Justice stands with the people of Ferguson. My commitment to them is that long after this tragic story no longer receives this level of attention, the Justice Department will continue to stand with Ferguson.
Now, by the way, the number of arrests yesterday was dramatically lower at night. It was only 6 people arrested. There had been dozens and dozens in the nights before. Is that directly related to Eric Holder? Of course, that's impossible to tell. But the fact that you actually take the community seriously and you go listen to them and hear them out, and they were elated that someone from the federal government had come to listen to them. We've now become so detached from our government because we think, of course they don't care about us in Washington, of course they don't represent us, that it's like a shock when the Attorney General comes to town. This is the biggest issue in America. Everybody's talking about this. Of course the Attorney General should come. Of course the head of the Justice Department should come, right? But they were happy that he showed up and actually, listened to them. So great move, nice move, and it apparently helped the situation. Countdown is on, of course, for Fox News to rip into. Well, what does he mean he stands with Ferguson? Does that mean he's prejudging the situation and saying the cops are wrong? No. He's saying, look, we're going to do an investigation to make sure it's independent and that we get to the bottom of this, right? Oh, yeah, standing with a community. Yes, it's our community. They're American citizens. All right. He also related to them his personal experiences. He said to them, I am the Attorney General of the United States, but I'm also a black man, okay? Now that's powerful. Again, countdown is on for Fox News, calling him a gang member, as they did with Captain Ron Johnson, who's the head of the cops there. But since he put up a sign of his fraternity with his hands, they're like, gangster, right? Gee, I wonder what connects all the people they accuse of being thugs and gangsters. Okay, you think it won't happen? Wait for it, right? He said he's black, he admitted he's black. Yes, he's black. Okay, hello, yes, news. He says about an incident he had a couple of incidents that he explained them. When he was a federal prosecutor, he's walking to the movie theater in Georgetown, right? Nice area of Washington, D.C. Cops pull him over. Hey, what are you doing? I'm going to a movie. Like, he obviously hadn't done anything wrong. He's a federal prosecutor. It doesn't matter, you're black in Georgetown. Let's go, pull over, let's go, right? Now, and one time he got pulled over in the New Jersey Turnpike. He says he clearly was not speeding. I mean, look, you judge him for whether you trust him or you don't trust him. Or right wing will be like, oh, no way, I bet he was speeding. They claim that he had been speeding before, which is not true. And now I've been pulled over for speeding in the New Jersey Turnpike, and believe me, I was speeding, okay? They didn't search my car, right? What did they do? They immediately searched his car. So here's what he said about that. He said, I remember how humiliating that was and how angry I was and the impact it had on me. And he said the same kid who got stopped on the New Jersey freeway is now the Attorney General of the United States. The country is capable of change, but change doesn't happen by itself. Now, of course, Bill O'Reilly's of the world will see that and say, see, he's so angry about that, and that's why he's supporting the blacks now, right? Well, he doesn't have to be angry to support blacks. Blacks are Americans. It's his job to support all Americans, right? And to make sure that our civilians are being served by our system of justice. That is literally his job, right? Also, that's not what he's saying. He's saying, look, man, I went through that, but I got beyond it, and look at the position I'm in now, one of the most powerful people in the country, right? So that means there's hope. I know you're frustrated. Good citizens of Ferguson right now, I know you're frustrated. I know you've been protesting in the streets. I know you're hurt about one of your own being killed when he was unarmed, right? But I'm telling you that there is hope, that you too one day could either be Attorney General or maybe even the President of the United States. That's not a bad message, that's a great message. So I think Attorney General Eric Holder in this instance did a terrific job in Ferguson.